there, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be doing this adorable SomeOddGirl stamps called Nerdy Piper. Isn't she cute? I had a request to do a darker skin tone, so that is what we are going to do today. We are going to be doing her. And I picked this skin tone. I did a few, and I put a link to the blog post down in the description if you want to go and check out the others. They are over there on the blog with a list of stuff. But I did a few different skin tones, and I found all these skin tones over on the Stampin' Bella blog. The Marker Geek does like a Monday thing where she posts different things, and this happened to be her post for a couple of weeks where she did skin tones, and I did put a link to that also in my blog post at the top of the post in case you'd like to go over to their blog and check it out. But there's all these will be listed over there, little pictures in case you want to see those and save them or whatever. Hi Esme, thanks for coming by. Hi Teresa. So next week we're going to be working on this cutie right here, and this is a card kit, so if you want to pick this up you're going to have to head over to the store and pick it up. We're going to be doing these birds. Well, of course we're going to put the card together, but we're going to be coloring these clouds with our Copic markers. I thought that would be something fun to try. And in this card kit you get 3 different sentiments, so you can pick which sentiment you want. Each card kit gets a sentiment, 3 sentiments in the card kit, so you can pick one. It says best wishes, or you can choose smile or love. If you choose the love one, you might have to move the birds a little bit because the love kind of goes up, the L's kind of big, but they will fit on here. So this is next week. If you want this, go over to the store and grab one. And then the following week, we're going to do this rabbit. Only I hate this coloring, so I'm going to recolor him. I'm not really loving this pink here, or these jelly beans that are this color. I just don't love it. So I'm thinking that maybe I will recolor this afternoon and make this into the card kit, and this will be the following week's stamp set. You get this giant, this is a 5x7 piece of paper, and this little rabbit's really big. So you get this, and then you get a bunch of sentiments in this stamp set. But I don't love this color, so I'm going to redo it before I put it in the store. So that's the following week. So we've got next week, then the following week. And then my little friend Teresa here was asking about what I did yesterday, and I was going to show her that I did this dog. What do you think? I love how his nose turned out. Look, his nose has like little dots on there, and his eyes. I like it. I think it turned out pretty good. So this is what I worked on yesterday. And then before that, I worked on this cat. I don't know if I love this cat. I love the cat's eyes, but I don't think I did that great on the white fur. I don't know. I'm not just not loving this one as much as I love this dog. This dog, I love that. I love how he turned out. So I still have to put on the white whiskers. He had a bunch of little white whiskers. And of course, when I watched Shell Bean's video on how to do etching, I didn't listen to that part that said after you etch it to put on the white pencil in the etching that you did. So I forgot about that. So I'm gonna have to do, I don't know, I'm gonna put maybe some white paint for his, I don't know how to put the white whiskers on now because it won't, the white pencil will not go over this stuff. And I colored both of these with the dog and the cat with Prismacolor pencils. And this is a, let me turn it over, a Strathmore 140-pound watercolor paper. And I did blend them with solvent. So Gamasol or Zest It, whichever happened to be in the container. But I think it turned out pretty good. So if you guys are interested in doing anything like this, and this took me 2 days of periodically working on it and then giving up and then coming back. So, oh, Esme's saying I could do the whiskers with a gel pen, or, oh, okay, I'll try that. I think I have both of those, Esme, thanks. Because I'm like, okay, how do you get the little whiskers on there now that he's all colored? And I'm thinking I maybe need to do some more work on his foot over here, because this is what the dog looked like. So here's the picture of the dog. And I'm thinking his little foot right here needs, and I didn't get this part over here. This is like, I'm assuming this is maybe he's laying down and this is part of his body. I could not get any of that, so I just made mine black. I cheated. But all in all, I think you turned out pretty good. I just have to put the white parts on there. I'll try that, Esme. Thank you. So that is what I've been working on. But if you girls would like to do something like this, we could try it out. Or maybe the next time I'm doing some coloring, I'll just come turn the live thing on. If somebody's on, they can stop in and say hi. If they're not, then, you know, I'll just be in here by myself. Oh, and Teresa's saying try a white Inktense pencil. That might be a good idea too. So I'm going to have to try that out to get his whiskers on there because, you know, he needs some whiskers. He's a dog. He's got stuff. All right, so anyway, we're going to color Piper here. And I picked this skin tone because I think this one turned out the best. I definitely needed to practice some more with my darker skin tones. I don't think I'm that great at doing that. It's just not my... I always think I get it too dark. I don't know how you girls do those kind of things, but to me, it always seems like it's way darker than it should be. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and give it a try because Vivian asked me to do it. So Vivian, this is for you. All right, so let's go ahead and, you know, we're just going to do the dark skin first because if we mess it up, then we're like, oh... I'm not going to mess it up though, okay? Just so you know, I'm not going to. But that's what we're going to start with. And so I'm going to cheat and I'm going to start over here on her hand because if you mess that up, it's not quite so bad. So I'm going to use E49, 57, 15, and 13. So, oh, Elaine says she has trouble with the dark skin tones too. They're hard. So I know 49 is our darkest one, but I'm going to start because I'm going to give it a couple of coats. So I'm going to start with 57 first, just because I can go, I don't want to add too much of that 49 because it's really, really dark. So we're going to start with 57 and see how it goes. So anyway, let's go ahead and do her hand. So she's got her little thumb poking up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go kind of in the little crease there. And then I'm going to bring this down right next to her sweater or her shirt because that is going to cause a shadow. And yes, we will be going, when we do our second coat, I'm going to go right over that line with our 49. This is just to kind of get me started. Because I colored this girl like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and so now I'm just winging it. We'll see how it goes. If it turns out like looking like poop, then I guess, you know, we'll know that I should have practiced some more. All right, then we're going to add 15. So I brush over the 57. I'm going to forget what color that is now the whole time because I never color these stones. Okay, and then over here, again, touch down on 57 and then brush up. And we'll brush this out here. And again, my pin's touching down on the 57. Okay. Do I need to get, maybe I should go down a little bit more. Let's go down a little bit more. I don't want to get too close because I don't want to get my hand in there. Okay, then we'll do 13. Okay, so again, touch down on top of your 15 and then brush up. And I'm not going to fill my white space all the way in because I want this still to be even lighter at the top. So we're just going to brush a little bit, leave some white because we're going to give it a second coat. So I don't want to use up all my white space. Okay. Now, we're going to go with 49. See how dark that is? That's really, really dark. So we're going to put that where we put our 57 the first time. And I'm going to try to make it just a little bit skinnier than I did with the 57. So I'm going to use just the very, very, very tip of my pen and barely touch that paper so it makes a really skinny line. I still have to be thinking about, I haven't come up with what we're going to be doing for our next class. I want to come up with a new class that we can do at night. But I haven't come across an image yet. And then also, just to let you girls know, I did job search this week. So I'm going to try to keep the classes on Thursdays, but if I find a job, then that may have to change to a different time. So you want to make sure to keep track of, you know, go over to the Facebook. I'll post it on the Facebook page if I have to change. But for right now, we're going to continue with Thursday unless I find something for a regular job for me to do. Oh, speaking of jobs, don't forget, I forgot, I'm having a sale over at the store in the add color section. And if you go over anything in the add color section, you can get 30% off if you use coupon code COLOR30. And it's on the front page too, if you forget, the little pop-up thing, that's the little screen thing that's on the front of the store. There's it's in that. But that includes ink pads, markers, Copics. These are on sale, so if you need some more Copics, 30% off. I need to get rid of a bunch of stuff in the store before it all goes on eBay. Okay, so I've got quite a bit going on there. Okay, so now we're just going to fill it in with the 13. So even though I colored down here, I'm going to go ahead and brush from down at the bottom up to the top of her hand. So we want to cover in all this area here. And I actually didn't, when I put her on my card, I didn't outline her this time. Usually I give them the outline first, and I didn't do that. So there's a little bit of a line down here, so I'm going to kind of brush down here a little bit and see if we can soften that a little bit. Whoops, sorry. So I definitely, here's the girl. So let's look at the other girl. So I definitely got it a lot lighter this time. I like it a lot better than I did the previous one because I got way too dark on her hand over here. At least over here you can kind of see her fingers and stuff. So I like that. That's an improvement. Okay, so we're going to go over and start on her face. So again, we're just going to start with a 57. All right, so we want, let me see, it's going to be darker over here on this side. I think I'll go up just a little bit. It's a little close. Okay, so I'm going to start over here where her eye is. So her eye touches her face over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 57 right along that. And I'm going to go over that eyebrow. I've got a small line there across like this. And then I'm going to go across her where her hair is. And then we're going to come back down along her hairline. And inside of her ear, we want to do in there. I'm going to go ahead and bring this underneath of her hair right there. And then I'm going to come down her jaw. I'm going to go ahead and bring this around over here to where her shirt is. And then for her neck, let's do right next to that line. And then we're going to pull this in like so. And remember, we're going to give it a second coat, so don't be stressing. Okay, and then she doesn't have lips, but I'm going to attempt to give her some So let's give a little bit of a line right here to start her lip. And then her nose, I want it to have a little bit of a shadow. So what I try to do is I try to do like a little backwards C, but I try to connect it to the eyebrow. So her nose comes up past her glasses and there's a little line right here. So I'm going to bring this from that little line over like this. And I'm trying not to, when I do it myself, I can just go really quick. I put too much pressure on myself here. We're just going to do a little line like that. I don't want to, I'm afraid I'm going to touch the paper too hard and it's going to make this big blob on there. Okay, so we're going to go with that. Okay, then we're going to add 15. So for our 15, let's do a little bit in her ear. And then let's go on the inside of her ear where her hair is touching it, like this. And we're going to bring this up. So we've got all this. Remember, we're going to come back with our second coat. So we're going to probably, this will next time be 57. So remember that. Okay, then we're going to go down here. We're going to go right over her neck that we've already put a line in there. And let's bring this out. Okay. And then for her face, let's go ahead and bring this line down. This. And then we're going to bring this. So, okay, then we need to brush all of this way. Okay, then also, what do we got going on here? We need to, oh, I should have done, wait, let me grab this one, 457 again. And I'm going to do this little section. She's got a little line on her nose right here, so we're going to do this bottom section. A bit darker, because her nose will be darker underneath. And then, of course, under her nose, she's going to have, at least me, I have a little indentation for my lip, kind of right here. You gotta be really careful, Esme, when you're doing those little dinky lines. I get stressed when I'm doing it on the video because I get nervous, and so I try to be extra careful, and I think that makes it worse. When I do it myself, I'm just like wham wham, and that's it. But I'm gonna bring this out a little bit more. Okay, and also this side. Her nose is going to make a little indentation on this side, so let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a line on this side. So like this. Okay. And then we're going to bring this, brush this out a little bit. And I'm not worried if I got some on her eyebrow right here because we're going to color those black. I saved myself from that by just deciding right away that we would be coloring that a different color. All right, let's try that. And then we're going to do 13. So I'm going to go up here, brush over the 15. Remember, we're going to add another coat, so I don't want to fill all my white space in. I want to have a little bit of a lighter color there. And up here, I'm going to go around my ear. But again, I'm going to leave a little bit of white on the edge. And we'll go this way. And on our eye, let's go. Hey, look how terrible she looks. She looks terrible. Okay. Doesn't she look perfect so far? All right, so now we're going to go in with our 49. Okay, remember, super dark, so we're going to try to do just a tiny bit. So just like this little line I drew over here with her for her nose, I'm going to try to keep it skinny like that. And let's bring this out right here a little bit more. Whoops. Okay. Then we're going to bring this around over here. And we're going to color her hair black, so again, if you get a little bit up in there, don't worry about that, because we will take care of that. And then we're going to do this line right here again. So I got a little crazy there. It's got like a little weird bend. And then we need to do, okay, she needs to have a lip. So let's see, let me turn this just a little bit. Move this cap over here. This is dark, E49 is dark brown. So it's really, really dark brown. It's kind of like, in the Prisma color pencil, it's kind of like espresso. Okay, so for her lip, we're gonna do, I want to bring it up a little bit closer, so let's go that, and this top one up here, kind of. Okay, and that's not perfect by any means, but you get the hint. I'm going to give her a little bit of lips there. Okay, so then we're going to go with 57. Remember, we don't care about that eyebrow, because we are going to go right over the top of that black. And this is going to come. And if you're worried about that eyebrow, you could go ahead and color it in first. I'm not going to stress over it. My favorite tones for doing Caucasian people is E11, 21, 00, and 000. But I use those all the time. And also, if you go over the store blog, if you go to the labels color combos, you'll be able to see I have a bunch of different skin tones over there, and just color tones in general. So now we're going to go with E15. And I've done a bunch of swatches with like color skins on there. But these are currently on the blog post. So if you follow the link down at the bottom of the description, it will take you to this blog post. And there's a bunch for colored darker skin tones on there. And I got all those over at the Stampin' Bella blog. They had a post on it here recently on darker skin tones. And she did a great job of coloring them. She did one of their Stampin' Bella girls up. Okay, do I want to do... I'm thinking that I'm going to bring this all the way across. And... okay, and then let's go with E13. Curly hairs. We're going to get to that next. It's a trick. No, not really. I'm just going to do some squiggles in there, but we're going to color the whole thing, so we'll get to see her hair too. Because I love her hair. Okay, so for this, I tend to go all the way across. And that kind of drags some of the color with it. And for me, when I do the 15 or the 49, it's kind of shiny. I don't know what it is with the really dark colors, but they turn the paper, and it's not like I used a whole bunch. You've seen how much I used, but it just kind of makes the paper shiny. Okay, so now, even though I colored all of this, I want to take my pen and swipe across the entire face. I'm going to swipe over her lips too. Okay, so same up here. I'm going to swipe over all of this. I'm just going to go ahead and color right over the top of those eyebrows. Whoops, I colored her eye. That's not good. We'll fix that. Okay, but see, I got this huge line right here on her forehead. So let's go ahead and go over that a few times like this. It just takes, these take so much more, you have to practice. I need a lot more practice, but I don't hardly ever color darker colored skin tone girls because I don't know anybody with darker skin. Not that I wouldn't, I just don't know anyone. So I'm gonna grab 15 now. Let's see if we can soften this up a little bit. That's still looking kind of crusty. And two, because this one's so much lighter, it tends to pull some of that color. Maybe I should go with, wait, let's see. Maybe we should go with 59. Really like how her hand turned out. I'm not loving her face. Okay, so 57. But see how 57 seems like it's changing the color of the paper. Or it's kind of blotchy like. kind of blotchy. I definitely don't consider myself an expert at darker skin tones. But I'm willing to work on it. Okay, what do I do with my colorless blender? Let's see if we can do something with this eye right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go, let's get some color out of that too. Let's color her eye. I'm gonna let her face sit a minute. But I don't know if you can see it on camera, but see how her neck, when I went over it with the 57, see how it kind of like, it made it like blotchy like. I don't like that. So definitely need more practice. So we're gonna do her eye and then we will see how her face is turning out and maybe we'll give it another coat. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. Okay, so for her eye, for the eyeball part, or the iris, around the white part, we're going to do V20 and C0. We'll come back to her face. Okay, V20 first. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shadow around the bottom, so right up here. And then this one, let's do a little dab. Oops, I should have got a little closer with my brown right there. Let me fix that. Just a little bit of white space there. Okay, so that was V20. And then let's do C0 just to soften that a little bit. Whoops. So I'm going to go right over the edge of my V20. Add a little bit more. And then I'm going to leave the rest white. This is just to add a little bit of color. And then for her eyeballs, we are going to do BG 45, 53, and the B00. And let's start with 45. And I'm going to do 45 right on this side. And this one's kind of small, so I'm going to just fill in this whole half section over here. And then over here, we're going to go over the top. So I went past kind of straight with the line of the pupil on this side. And then we're going to go around sort of the same on this side. And we're going to leave a little bit of white next to the black. And then we'll add BG 53. And we're going to fill in the white on this side. And then I'm going to come around this side of the black. And then we'll add B00. And I'm going to give them a second coat. And 00. Okay, let's go do her hair and then we'll come back and see about that, her, work on her skin a little bit more. I'm still not loving it, so I'm thinking it's going to need something else. Okay, so for our hair, we're going to use 100, W10, 8, and 6. So I'm going to start with W10. And so for my curly hair, I'm going to go, she's got some lines already here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over those lines. And we're going to bring these lines, even if there's not any lines, we're going to bring them up to her ponytail. And I'm kind of making them squiggly. Over here, kind of bumpy. It's got a bunch of little bumps in there. Okay, well. I got a bunch of little squiggles. And then up here, when I get to the top part, because it's kind of in a bun, I'm going to go, well, these already have lines, so I'm just going to kind of do the little C's in here. But like in here, in this blank space, I'm going to go like this. And I try to go different directions. Like little circles, half squiggles. Okay, it's a good start. Okay, then we'll add W8. Same thing, I'm just going to give it some squiggles. So I'm going to start down here. And then up here we'll add some swirls. And she got a little hair bow right here, so I tried not to color that. She's got something holding her ponytail up. Okay. And then we're going to use W6. Okay, so now I don't do the squiggles. I'm just going to fill this in. I'm going to brush over all of this. You could do squiggles and leave some white in there if you like that, but I'm not going to bother with that. I don't think, I can never get it to look good like that. And then we'll come back and we'll give it a second coat. And we want to put our black in there, 100 in. So I fill all this in. And remember the hairband right here. Over the top of that. And then we'll add 100. So I'm going to put this right next to where it would curl down next to her hair, or her head. I'm just going to draw a thin line around the edge. And then we're going to add some squiggles. And you still try to keep your hair going in the direction that it would be going as if she had it pulled up. So, you know, you don't want to go this way. You wouldn't go where squiggles go this way. You'd want them to go so they were going from the top of her forehead and coming back into this ponytail. And then I'm going to add another coat of W10. So again, more squiggles. And more little squirgly, circly things up here. Half C's. Like so. And there she's got curly hair. Okay, let's see what we can do with this face now. I don't know about this. This is not turning out the way I would love. I think I'm going to go with 15. And let's see here. What can we do with her? Oops, I should have done her eyebrow. $13. She does have curly hair, huh, Esme? Let's do her eyebrow real quick too. Maybe that will help her out. Okay, so I'm going to do 100. And let's do and then we'll fill it in with W10. I'm still not loving her. Let's do another thing of E13. Let's see what that would do. Thinking that needs to do I'm gonna have to say that's gonna have to be good. Even though I don't love her still. That's terrible. Poor girl. Alright, so we're going to go do her shirt. So we are going to need V17, 15, and 12. Let's do her hair bow first. So I'm going to do V17. And then we'll grab 15. And 12. All right, then we'll hop down here and we'll do her shirt. While I contemplate that's her skin here. All right, V17. So V17, you can see the inside of her shirt right here. So we're going to cover that up. And then we're going to bring this color up here. And then we're going to swing it around over like this. And then right here where it folds under, we're going to bring this around like this. And we'll go with V15. V12. And we're going to go back, V17. $15. Eileen, you use the Tombow markers to do your skin tones on yours. I don't have those. So you use just white over the top of the Tombow markers to make them lighter? I know you couldn't use those. I'm pretty sure you couldn't use... I've never used Tombows over the top of my Copic, so I don't know. Because those are like a water-based product, and these are alcohol inks. So they don't, you couldn't put like if I used a lighter tone with the Copics to go over it, it would just make it mush everywhere. Like her neck is like, it's because the color moved. So let's try doing, let's do E49 again. What happened is this skin tone is just, it makes it all, it's so dark, maybe because I don't use it enough that it just sits in this container and it gets shiny. The whole pen is shiny when you put it on the paper. I don't know why it does that. And then we're gonna do E57. So it's like it sits there on top of the paper, and it's not like I used a ton to. It just looks like there's something sitting there. So like here, let's take this piece of paper. See it? It shouldn't do that. So I don't know, maybe the ink in the pen, when because I don't use the darker ones so much, maybe they go bad. I don't know. But they shouldn't be shiny and feel sticky like that. See, because now when I go over it with the 57, it's making it like streaky like. See how it's... It's like it doesn't suck it up all the way. And it's not like, there's still plenty of paper for it to go on because it's not seeping clear through. Here's her neck, and there's none on the back. So it's like the ink just sat on top of the paper. It didn't go anywhere. But yeah, see, now it's just sitting there, and now when you try to pick it up, it like just, it's stuck there. It's not going anywhere. It should seep into the back. The paper should suck it up and it should go somewhere. But whatever's with the pen, whether it's the ink sat in the pen too long and it's just gone bad, and then it just sits on top of, and it's only the really dark ones I find that with, like R29, 49, anything that's got a 9 on the end. W10 I don't have that problem because I use it quite a bit. And I've never had the problem with the 100 pen, which is super dark. But it seems like the 9 ones, anything that ends in 9, you get this shiny, like, waxy, I guess I want to call it, waxy buildup that I don't know. So you can't, you're going to have to, if you want lighter, you have to do lighter skin tones. But with this marker, I'm just thinking that maybe the marker doesn't, there's something wrong with the ink in it. Because it didn't suck it up like it should. It should soak through to the back, like this black up here on her hair. See how it's starting to soak through? If you put too much ink on there, it should be going through to the back so you can see it. Like the purple down here. It saturated the paper and it went inside. But it's having a hard time with that E49 doing that. So when that sits on top of the paper, then when you put the E57 on top, it just smears it around. And the nibs aren't bad. The nib is fine. And this one I think I've changed. Yep, I've changed this one, so I've cleaned it. And oh, I see. You colored it a darker color and then you added the marker for some highlights. That's a good idea. I'm just not liking how the ink reacted to the paper right here. It should look more like this, like her hand. See how her hand is all nice and flat and blended nicely, but it seems like on her face, maybe because I need to move a little bit faster. So I know when I do it on, when I'm trying to show you guys, I go a little bit slower, so maybe it just didn't have a chance to suck it up as fast as this, because I try not to let the ink dry too much in between. I try to be quickly from one color to the next color, and it tends to do a little bit better, because it didn't do that on this girl. See, she seems pretty even. I didn't have, but then I think I used a little bit less. No, because look how dark her neck is here. And I didn't get the shiny. It looks like it's starting to turn shiny maybe up here in the crease a little bit, but not like this one. So I'm not sure on that. Okay, so we're going to continue with her shirt. Let's do V17. Let's go ahead and do over here. So I'm going to bring, and I'm going to give her shirt a couple of coats too. So let's bring this down. And then we're going to bring this over her shoulder. Because I don't want to go out of the lines, I'm going to go ahead and go along the top of her shoulder. And then I'm going to use that line to brush from. And then same thing with the back of her shirt here. Let's go down her shirt. And then she's got a little wrinkle right here, so we're going to exaggerate that. And then same thing, we're going to want to bring... I guess that's probably why I don't do dark skin tones too much, because it seems like there's always some kind of... Maybe I just don't use those browns enough. Those aren't my favorite browns, so maybe I just don't use them enough to... make them as juicy as they should be. Okay, so over here, we're going to give her a little bit, because she's going to have her chest right here, so let's give it a little bit of a swoop right here. Kind of tucks back in. Okay, I'll go over here. And we're going to come over here with this sprinkle. Whoops. Okay, let's try that. And then we'll add the 15. Yeah, I'm not sure why it causes it to have that different shininess. I don't know. But I noticed some of my pins do that. And I even like R29, I noticed it when I first got it, so I bought another one because I'm like, oh, maybe it's just got something wrong with it. But the other one does it too. So maybe it's a darker color in there that causes it to do that. At least mine do that. I don't know. Maybe do any of you girls who use your Copics, do they do that? You find that the darker colors or the 9s tend to get shiny, or you have problems with them soaking into the paper? Oh, good. Thanks, Eileen. I now have an African-American friend. I'm gonna have to practice my skin tones, because I would like to be a lot better at doing darker skin tones. It's definitely something that is going to require me to have some practice, because I don't like how she turned out, and I think it was mostly from the marker, because I liked how the first girl turned out. I just don't like how this girl turned out. And we're going to give her a second coat, so I'm not worried that that looks like that. Looks pretty terrible, doesn't it? Okay, let's go back around this way. And maybe bring this down a little bit. Then we'll bring this around. Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven is downstairs making a racket. Makes me wonder what he's up to down there. See, like, this is 17. It doesn't seem... It's not doing that shiny thing, so I don't know. I've never used a washable marker. What's that? And then we're going to V12. Is it having a... We're having buffering today? I don't know. It seems to be doing okay here. Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven let me set it up today, so maybe I did it wrong. Lexi Elise decided she should get up this morning at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. And Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven got up with her. Lucky him. So it's been a long day for him. He's going to need a nap. All right, let's add V15 to this shirt right here. Just because I don't like how it looks. I'll bring this around over here. And then V12. Maybe because my hand was in the way. Here, let's move it over here a little bit. I think I'm going to bring this color out here. And then we'll use our 12 to move it. Okay, I'll go with that. I think that's okay. But yeah, I'm not loving her skin tone. I don't know. It's needing, but let's see what the back looks like. But yeah, see, it's not, see, even the purple comes through right here. Because I got the paper pretty wet, and her nose right here I got wet. But the rest didn't pull through to the back. Which is a good thing. I mean, it shouldn't be onto the back anyway. It shouldn't go too much onto the back. If you get it too wet, then it kind of goes, spreads out and you go out of the lines. But I wish she would have soaked in a little bit more. I'm not loving how her neck looks right here, how blotchy it looks. And what that is the pin. When I put the 57 over the 49, it kind of pulled it out there and then made little blotchy things. I don't love that. But we're gonna live with it. All right, so we're gonna put our little card together here because, like I said, we have the other. Here's some other skin tones, like this one. This was 17, 15, and 13. I think maybe this could have been blended. I didn't love how I did. I thought I needed more shadow over here on this side, and I don't really love how those colors blended together. Sometimes the colors just don't blend very well. Here, this one is V17, E35, and 33. So this one's a little bit better, but I think still it could have used some more blending on there. But again, I get afraid to do the blending part because it I'm afraid it's going to get too dark. And I'm kind of liking this color right here. This is going to be one of my favorite ones. This is 57, 35, and 23. I'm kind of liking the cocoa color of her skin. And I didn't get it too dark on this one. But again, I don't want to add too much because I'm afraid it will get too dark. Like, look how dark this one's getting. So this is V28, E29, 27, 25, and 23. So I used a V color to make the really dark colors in the corners. See, here it's really dark. If I added any more layers of this, it would just, you couldn't see her. So this is E49, 47, 57, and 04. But this one doesn't have the shiny on there, so I used the 49 on here and there's not. The 57 or the 47 didn't make it shine. This one's 49, 57, and 13. And this one is, oh, this is the V. This is one I did over. And that one's one I did over. I just got tired of coloring their shirt and their hair, so I went without on these. See how that works? I'm tired of coloring this shirt. The shirt was a lot of work. Put our card together here. So maybe I can send it out to someone. Maybe my friend Eileen. If you email me your address at HeathersHobbieHaven@hotmail.com, I will send it to you in the mail. It's not perfect, but oh, and on her glasses, I did put some glossy accents on there to make them shiny, and I'll do that. I'll add that to this one too. I just didn't bring it in here with me, but I'll put them on there so that she looks like she's got her glasses on. It looks like they're glass. Okay, and then this little piece of paper here, it started out as a circle, but because this was like the last little piece of paper left and there was that little part on the paper that has the name of the company or what on there, it wouldn't, if the circle wouldn't fit on there, and I didn't want to get out a whole nother piece, so I just decided I was going to cut that off. I cheated. I know, see? I'm like, oh, it doesn't have to be a circle. It can be missing that little section. And then I'll just make it look like it's sitting on the edge of this little black piece. I usually color, when I color dark to light just because it works better for me. I'm afraid I'm always going to get too dark. So maybe I should try with the darker skin tones. Maybe I should try doing lighter to darker. Maybe that would work better. I'll have to try that. Do you guys want to do that? We'll try that. We can try a different skin tone. Not today, because I don't have another one in here, but maybe we could try doing a lighter skin, unless you girls want to wait for a second, and I'll go print one out, and we can try doing, I won't color the whole thing, but we can try doing lighter to darker and see if that works better. Or we can do it on a different day too. We can pick a different girl and do that too. That's cool. Yeah, that's what said the patterns match perfectly. I know I picked out, whenever I do a card, I pick the paper first so that I can match something to it, like this sweater. Her shirt is made to match these flowers, because otherwise if I colored it, this shirt would never match anything on the paper. So I always pick the paper first, and then I make something on my image go with something on the paper. That's my thought for that. But I think she turned out all right. She's not terrible. But I'm definitely loving how I mean, she seems, I put more layers. I can tell I put more layers on this one than I did this one because she's darker. Just because I was trying to fix this whole situation with her neck there and the blotchiness. So I got a little bit heavy. Maybe I used a little, maybe I just, because I'm nervous when I'm doing this, you can do, I get a little heavier handed than I would if I was just coloring by myself. So, just print a new one. Oh, Mr. HeathersHobbieHaven says to print a new one. Okay, so I'm going to go print a new one and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Fussy cut? I fussy cut, definitely. Unless I have a dye, then there's no fussy cutting. Okay, so let's try, so we're gonna try to do it the other way. And remember, I'm not an expert at the other way. Obviously, I'm not an expert at the regular way either, so. Okay, so we're gonna go, let me go down. And we'll color, oops, it was a little close. Let's do, let me see how, let me wait for the camera to adjust on screen so I can see what you guys look at. I think I'll go a little closer. Okay. Okay, so let's try lighter to darker. So that means we're going to start with E13. And we will color her in. And this one, I can tell, this one right here, I need to fix this cap, this pin, because the end is starting to look crusty. It's got like some white waxy stuff right here. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's starting to look crusty. So that means it needs to be washed. So it's going to have to get the scrubbing, or I'm going to have to change the tip. Okay, so we're going to go with this, and we're just going to color it all the way in. Let's start down here on her neck. Let's start with that. Okay. And then we'll add, maybe it's because the markers need, maybe it's because these need the end changed. That could be, maybe. They need maintenance, maybe. Now, this one's still shiny. So it's 57 that's shiny. Okay, let's see if we go over that. Yeah, it still does it. Even if it goes light to dark. Let me see if it picks up some, what I did in my paper. Oh, right here. Yeah, it's still picking some up. So it's got some markers. Esme says markers get rusty like we do. So it's definitely, let me see. Okay, so this one is not, this is 49, and it's not causing it to be shiny when I just stick it on there like this. So it's not. Okay, so let's go, let's see what the back looks like. No, it's still not going through. Okay, so there's 49. Okay, here's the 57. And that one's not shiny by itself. Here, maybe we'll find the culprit. We'll do, here's a 15. Let's try this one. I think this is the culprit right here. It just looks funky. Okay, but it's not shiny. It just looks weird. Okay, let's try 13. This one looks weird too. Maybe these two are the problem. But alone, they don't look shiny. They just look like there's something wrong with the color. They don't lay down as nice as the other ones. Let's try... Let's do 57 on top of this one. Nope, there's no shiny on that one. Okay, so let's try 15 on top of this one. We'll get to the bottom of it. No. I think maybe it's because you just go, I'm going too slow. What about this? Let's try this up here. Yeah, none of those did that. So, I don't know. Because they did it on her neck, but they didn't do it when I did over here by themselves. But I'm definitely going to change on the E15 and the 13. I'm going to clean these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colorless blender into a little zippy bag. And I'm going to drop this in there and then smush it around and see if I can clean this tip off. And if I can't clean the stuff so it looks all one color, if I can't clean it off, then I'll replace those tips. And when they get crusty like this on the ends like this, you should wash those anyway. And they shouldn't have this junk in the lid, because what happens is every time you stick the marker into the lid, it picks a little bit of that up on there, and then it gets on the tip, and it causes it to have a waxy like buildup, like this one's got right here. I can see it right here. It looks like there's like some kind of waxy film on the end of this marker right here. So I'm thinking this one is gone, and it will need to be, because look at it. Did you see it turn white? It shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's got some crusty stuff on there, so we're gonna need to. I'm gonna need to take that off, take it off, and put a new one on there. So that might help it out too. But you definitely should keep your markers clean, and you know, it should be a regular thing. You should do maintenance on those, and they should not look like that. That looks yucky. But anyway, here's our Piper. I think she turned out okay, even though I don't love that she's kind of blotchy on this one. But I need to practice some more, so I will clean these up, and we'll see what we can do. And we'll definitely do some more skin tones. We need to do more darker skin tone girls. So if you guys have an image you want to color, if you find one you like, let me know if it's a digital one so we can print it out, and then we can color together. Leave it down in the comments down below, and if I can find it, that way I can go find it and we can color that one. We'll do that one. We'll pick a different one of these other skin tones, and we'll do that one on another day when I'm doing live streams. So don't forget, girls, that I am doing job search. So if I find a job, I may not be here on Thursdays, but I will make sure to post it on the Facebook page that class was canceled, and whatever time I've changed it to. I'll try to do it on a different day. I'm just not sure what's going on right now. Also, don't forget, you can go over and get anything in the the color. Just add, what in the heck is it? Color something. Add color. I think it's add color. If you add, I think it's called add color. I didn't put it down here, but at the top of the store, it's the add color section. All that's 30% off. Just use coupon code COLOR30 and you can get any of that stuff for 30% off. So anyway, I hope you girls are having a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.